Right, welcome to the BTS podcast. It's just us three today. There's no Corey today, no extravagant intro, so we're gonna keep it short and sweet. It's your boy Just Jerv. Um, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, it's L Ballers in the league. L's the name, man with the plan, Dan the man. Let's go.
KSR, catch you if you can in the league. Yeah, let's chat about this new chip.
Yeah, so obviously FPL Fantasy have released this mystery ship that everyone's been curious about since the beginning of the season.
Mm.
So we're gonna just chat about it, see everyone's views. So this is the assistant manager chip. So we're gonna quickly go through it, see what that means for us, and to see how we're gonna be using it. So
Before we start on that,
Mm.
guys, tell me something. What was your first impressions when they revealed what it was?
I can't lie, I was a bit. I don't know. I wouldn't say like disappointed, but I was a bit like. I'd say, all right,
Underwhelmed.
I was a bit underwhelmed by it because I was thinking I had all these thoughts. Probably everybody did, I guess. Everyone had like all these like different ideas of what it could be, and I personally didn't see this one coming. This isn't one of the 6 or 7 ideas I had. But yeah, over time, I'm getting used to it, I guess. But yeah, that's how I felt. What are you saying?
do you know what? It's something different. So I didn't have any expectations. So for me, cool, something new. Let's see how it gets used. We'll go through the terms and conditions of it. But yeah, I didn't have no expectations. So it's something different. So let's just something new, really.
Mm.
I feel you. I think me personally, I'm probably similar to Craig. I made the mistake of trying to guess what it could be. And I think all the different ideas, when this came out, I think if this came out from the start, off the jump, I'd have looked at it and said, yo, this is all right. I think it's good. But then I just feel when you run with your imagination and you start to get some ideas, you're kind of hoping that it could be something crazy. But yeah, like you said, Pilot, it's definitely brought something different to the tactics for the second half of the season. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let's just go through the terms and conditions of the chip. So the assistant manager chip, you get to play it for 3 successive game weeks. So bear that in mind. You get 6 points for a win, 3 points for a draw, and then 2 for a clean sheet. So a win, a 2-0 win, will get you up to 10 points. So 10 points is a lot to add on to your weekly. And then if you beat a pick a manager chip that the team's five places less than the team that they beat, you get an extra 10 points. So
Yeah, that's
so I think that's where the twist goes. I think that's the
Yeah.
twist. So imagine if you get Brighton beating a Liverpool or something like that. You're getting
yeah,
six. You're getting
that's what
16
I'm saying.
points.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it and they spoke about it a bit, saying how last season, if this was done last season, Bournemouth would have topped it with their manager, Adioni Areola. He would have, I think it was something like 65 points extra if you would have had him for the 3 weeks, which is crazy. 65 points extra in a tight league wins
Yeah,
wins the
yeah,
league, innit?
moving
That's a
positions.
that's a big difference. 3 weeks, 65 points. I'll take it. So, and
Yeah,
that's probably more
100%.
like that's probably more than you would maybe even get for like a bench boost or a wild card. You might even get you. That's
you're
more
not getting
than
that on
you get.
triple captain,
Nah,
but
no chance.
also
Nah, not no chance, but
yeah,
Yeah,
unlikely.
depends who it
unlikely.
is.
Yeah, but also what people need to understand is that it costs as well. It's zero point 0.5 million to 1.5 million depending on the manager.
Mm,
And another fact is you could transfer your assistant manager over the three weeks. So you don't have to stick with the same manager. You could
nah,
transfer, but the transfer is one of your transfers. So if you got one free transfer a week,
you have to take that into account.
you might
Yeah.
have to take a
Yeah.
-4 to change a
Mm,
player and the
hmm
manager.
yeah.
So I think there's lots of variables to put in there.
Mm,
Um,
One to keep in mind as well with that is Obviously you can only play one chip in a game week. So because it lasts
3
three
weeks.
game weeks, if you was to start that on game week 21, you can't use another chip until game week 24.
And also, I think what makes this the way how this can be more worth it to players is that obviously you can only have it still counts as having an extra player on your team, so 3 players each team, right? So if you go with if you got like heavily if you're heavily involved with Liverpool players or a team at the top, let's say Chelsea, Liverpool, whoever, Arsenal, then you have to take into account if you're bringing in a manager from those teams, that's an extra that's another player for that team
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, the way that this is beneficial from what I see is that the manager really has to be coming from like the biggest benefit is if they come from a lower team because you're gonna have players that you want ahead of the manager probably. You're not gonna want to maybe spend that much money on a manager when you can have a player that's gonna probably bring you more points in that short space of time. So I think it's for me, I'm looking at it this way anyway. I'm looking at it like it's got to be a manager from a lower team. I'm not the safety obviously is to go for a higher manager, but if you go for a higher manager, then you're risking losing out on an extra player from one of them top teams.
Yeah, and the thing about the higher managers, right now, no one's keeping clean sheets really.
Nah,
So, so
Liverpool will be the closest to that, but still.
yeah, but they're top. So you're like
you're taking out like so. Let's say you have
that
Salah, Trent,
potential 10, that
and
potential 10
yeah,
extra is crazy. And yeah, if you got 3 Liverpools, you got Trent, Jota,
mm,
or no, Trent, Gakpo, and Salah.
mm,
Like you can't have the manager, and obviously
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
normally getting points as well. So,
that's the thing.
question though, this is I don't have no money in the bank, so so
You're not using it anytime soon, then.
Yeah, no
no, I'm
shot,
gonna have to bust a wild card
no
and then
shot.
free up some funds, then do it.
People's gonna be proper trying to save money. Real January friggin'
In
feelings.
it, January savings, in
That
it.
January savings for real, blood. No one's gonna be
But
able to use that still, like
all right,
properly, unless they had the money.
looking at the Premier League, yeah,
Mm.
what like off the bat, um, what team like would you be looking at using it on?
Or just
Yeah,
in
because it
Nah,
general.
comes. When does it come? I
Okay.
think it's January the
February.
25th. Is it February?
Yeah,
Beginning of
24th, I
February,
think.
beginning of Feb. So it's still like 7-8 weeks to go. So a lot can the table can still change quite a bit
Hmm.
in 7 weeks, you know. But for me, if I'm looking at it, I'm saying, you know, you've got the likes of Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Bournemouth, and Brentford. I say that little quartet in between, like maybe ninth and sixth place, fifth place. That's a good place to go. I think if you go a bit lower down, you
Do you know
obviously if you
who?
go like towards the end, the bottom of the league, then it's a bit, those
So
teams
one
might.
team, bro. One team. One team.
If I had to pick one, I don't
I
know,
got my
Brentford maybe, Brentford,
Brentford, the ninth. Okay.
yeah,
All
Brentford
right.
going ahead,
If they've
maybe,
got two
Home
for the
fixtures.
home games definitely, but
yeah, and then
for the away they're definitely going to be leaky. Do you know who I think is very sly? And obviously it's going to depend a lot on how things change over the next few months. But United is a shout, you
That
know.
was my shout. That was my
mm,
shot. United
mm,
currently sitting 13th. Yeah. Obviously,
yeah,
new manager.
mm,
Tactics ain't been adapted fully yet. So
yeah,
Hmm.
2 months after the a few weeks, 2 months, he's
yeah.
got
They
them
show really
running
good,
how he needs to. They might go
yeah,
on a little run. So
yeah.
Yeah, and they don't concede like crazy.
yeah,
That's
so
true. It might be. That's true. Them maybe you got Newcastle and Tottenham in that little 11th, 12th, and 13th.
yeah,
They're probably gonna finish higher anyway, innit? So
Yeah,
that's not a
so
bad shout.
they'll be
Yeah,
table climbers for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because if you
yeah.
look at if even Fulham, because if you look at if Fulham, if I let's say Tottenham, Newcastle, Man United,
Mm,
if they're playing a Nottingham Forest
mm,
at home, you're looking for them to win that game. Even if they're
Hmm.
playing a Bournemouth are 5 points ahead of 5 positions ahead of Man United. So if
mm,
it's Man United vs Bournemouth, I would go for a Man United win.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and a good thing, like I said, you could transfer the manager each week. So depending on where they're at, if you've
mm,
got a Leicester City playing. No, Leicester ain't beating none of these lot. But if you got West Ham, even West Ham against a Bournemouth,
Mm,
Yeah,
West
yeah,
Ham might do it. So I think people might be looking at the ship thinking, but if you really look at the league, because our league, a lot of teams have been underperforming.
yeah.
The positioning is a bit, yeah,
yeah.
Look at
I
if
think
look at if some teams had used it over the last few weeks against when the teams were coming up against City.
yeah, yeah.
yeah. That would have been mad. That would have been crazy. That would have been a lot of points.
But then
But
look at Wolves.
one thing as well is obviously the double game weeks as well, though. That's the
Yeah,
other thing. Not a lot of those, maybe the lower teams aren't going to get a lot of double game weeks. It's more that if unless the game is missed, like the Liverpool
Yeah,
Everton one, but
yeah. It's the
it's
ones
going to be
FA
more
Cups
the
and all
teams.
that.
Yeah, it's going to be more the teams that go further in those. So those double game weeks, you also have to take. So, but maybe I mean, you could do a thing where obviously you have one of those. I guess you could say differential teams now instead of players for like one game, and then the next two games you go for like the double game week team, like so Liverpool or Man City or whatever. So
mm.
you get one in, you get like an extra bonus from that, then you swap them around, and then you do the double game week for whoever, for Liverpool or whatever.
Yeah, but
But do you know what I like that? Do you know what I like that? What this chip has brought to the table? You know, as standard, you'd know when it comes to double game week,
What you're gonna
everyone,
do?
a lot of people's going to play the triple captain. But now
Mm.
we're going to get the double game week. You're going to have some people doing triple captain, some people doing the assistant manager. So it's definitely brought a different vibe to double game week.
yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
like
I think so.
literally, see, like Wolves. Yeah, Wolves are 19th. They're not a bad team. They shouldn't be in 19th position.
Mm.
Yeah,
If they get playing how they need to be playing, Cunha get scoring.
yeah,
Even if they
They
look
get on a nice run.
get on the nice run, because
I think,
Wolves have got the ability to beat a Forest.
yeah,
Like they have got the ability to do it. I don't
Yeah.
know. Even the Brentford, if Brentford are away at Wolves, Wolves are winning that game. Do you mean? And
Mhm,
that's a
mhm.
10 position gap.
yeah.
So the one good thing about this chip is that you have to plan to use it. Like you have to say, "Right, cool." You're looking at fixtures and you're like, "Cool, I could sell a player." You might sell one of your not elite players, but one of your a bit more spenny players
Mm.
to bring in someone lower, but then to bring in a
Yeah.
better manager or a manager that. Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, I don't have the funds, so I'm gonna have to look
Yeah,
at it like that. Like
yeah.
or
That's what
You
I mean.
definitely got to move a lot more strategic with it.
yeah. So Haaland's for me. Haaland's gonna have to get skied anyway. So because there's no money in
And
the
free
bank.
up the funds, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think it's gonna be it's a nice. I think out of all of the chips, I actually think this is probably the best chip to have for potentially for the whole season to hold on to and use it at the best time because the amount of points that you could get from this could change your season just
I'm
like that. But I
I'm gonna
guess it's
use
a
this
question
chip
of
early.
when.
I'm gonna use this chip earlier. Then I'm not gonna see.
Serious?
I'm gonna use it sooner than later because, like, if we're
Mm,
looking at a Man United, I
yeah,
want to catch them before they go on that run. I don't want to
Mm.
catch them when they've moved up, when they're in six now.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
yeah. That's the best time to do it, to be fair.
yeah,
It's
so
definitely better to use it especially if we're to look at it from a United perspective, you want to use it now whilst they're 13th. And then whilst they're climbing, you're benefiting because by the time they get to the top, you're then going to lose that whole 5 point additional.
the the
thing is though
10 points.
there is
10
still
points, yeah.
seven weeks to it happens and they could climb
Yeah,
in that time.
yeah, it's true because yeah, it is tight.
It's a whole month of game.
From seventh to 14th is only 6 points.
That's what I mean. That's like
So
two. That's
obviously
That's
with the
two
Christmas
games.
with the Christmas fixtures, if you
yeah.
go on a little
That could
if
be done. That could be done by
yeah
like New Year's.
Yeah,
yeah
You
no,
know.
it's very true. The whole thought process of looking at the chip now could be a whole lot different once it becomes live.
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
this is
As
true.
soon as it becomes
Yeah.
live, as soon as it becomes live as well, you'll be later in the competitions with things. Champions League would have moved on as well. You know, we will know more by that point. And I think now, for me personally, I'm focusing on. I know the chip's there because it's even there now in the app. If anybody goes and looks, you guys will see it. But I'm not even because I wouldn't be looking at chips anyway right now, apart from the wild card. which we're gonna run out of in a couple of weeks' time and get a new one. Apart from that, I'm not really thinking about it until it gets to that point too much. I've had a nice little think about it, but I think that it's gonna come at a time when I think a lot's gonna change in that time. We look at the league now. You know what? Obviously, we should screenshot the league now and see how different it's going to be in terms of teams.
Yeah.
Because I think the likes of Tottenham, Newcastle, Man United, they're all going to most likely move up in the table. We'll see, but I predict them moving up. Wolves as well, like you said, Pilot will probably move up, but that's going to happen in 7 weeks, surely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, yeah. So community, you let us know how you're using it. If you like the chip, if you don't like the chip, what's your views, feedback on us? So let us know and when you plan to use it. So yeah.
Community, smash that like, share, and subscribe button, and we will see you soon.
Yeah.
Peace
We
out.
will.